What is up, Yankee fans? My name is Ryan Garcia. That is Chris Drew. This is Fireside Yankees. And no, your New York Yankees are headed to the 2025 postseason. Jose Caballero delivers a game-winning hit in the bottom of the ninth to send the Yankees to the 2025 postseason. They've punched their ticket. It's yet to be determined in what seed they'll go in for the postseason. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Yankees are going to be dancing in October. Caballero with the big hit in the ninth. We've got a crazy ninth inning rally to talk about because the way they tied the game, all of that, the wild pitch. We have a Luis Seal start that there was some good, there was some not so good in that start. The Yankees back in the division race, one game back of the Blue Jays. They are right on the precipice of potentially pulling off a massive division comeback. And we'll talk about tomorrow's game, which is going to be just as big as today's game, given how close the Yankees are to Toronto. But Chris, how you feeling? How you doing after the Yankees win tonight?
Thrilled. Always great when your team makes the playoffs, and the way it happened was an exciting fashion. You know, I hate that the bats went cold, kind of against the White Sox, but dog, like what a great watch of a baseball game. Like this, I've probably had like 4 or 5 games on today. They've all felt like real postseason playoff atmosphere. That was a blast to watch. And here we go, like Volpe scoring the game tire, and then Cabby, you know, sealing the deal with the base hit with a great at bat and being able to calm himself down. It felt good. The excitement was there. I'm in. I love high leverage baseball, Ryan. Every pitch feels so important. And I'm excited that they were able to pull off this upset. I do know that I kind of went into the ninth inning like, we lost today. And it's a bummer because we're about to watch, you know, Toronto lose as well. But they got it done. Couple nerve-wracking moments, but thrilled that the Yankees have made the postseason and excited for more.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, that ninth inning was just like the vibes were dead. And there was a point in time in that inning where you start feeling it. Volpe picks up a hit. Wells picks up a full count hit. And then Grisham grounds into a double play on the first pitch. And it sucked the life out of the stadium. Because number one, double play, 2 outs. You go from a high percentage chance of scoring a run to seeing that percentage chance get shot in the foot. Correct. And then number 2, it takes the bat out of Aaron Judge's hand. And that is a guy you want taking at bat against the B tier of the White Sox bullpen. And then it puts all the pressure on Bellinger. He's able to work a walk, and Isert just fires it at 91, way over the catcher's head into the backstop. Volpe attentive, racing home, scoring the tying run. And again, the Yankees were down to their last strike at that point in time. Yeah. If Isert just throws a ball there's no guarantee that number one, Caballero doesn't, that Caballero gets that hit. Like that's assuming that the same sequence of events occur right after. You don't know if the manager even pulls Isert in that scenario. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But that was a pivotal moment in the game. And again, for Caballero, though, just a really good at bat. Like, I feel like what's going to get lost in this is just how good that damn at bat was. Fouling off pitch after pitch, spitting on pitches in the dirt. He gets one to hit, and he loops it over into center field. Kind of a little bit of a prayer, and it dunks in for a hit. But
kind of wild we didn't get a sellout, like dive attempt right there.
Yeah, that was so. I mean, like looking at it in a replay, like, dude, you kind of got to lay out for that one. There's nothing you're going to lose by that ball going past you in a game where if it was 2-1 and that play happens, completely understand, right? You don't want to have it go by you and then you lose the game on a play that would have just tied the game. But that was a do or die. If you make that catch, we go into extras. No effort to dive. I'll take it though.
Unless you felt like, okay, if I keep my feet full momentum, is this ball hit hard enough for me to get Aaron? But with 2 outs, I mean, you think too big of a jump there. I will say I am really glad that Belly got walked because Belly looked bad at the plate today. Like Belly did not look good. Wade did a couple of really bad pitches. Wasn't as effective as we're used to seeing him, and it didn't look and feel right. It didn't look like he was comfortable in the box. So for that to happen, and then obviously Cabby worked a really big time at bat, fouling off a lot of really good pitches. There were 3 pitches that would have been called strike threes in that at bat that he fouled off and got just enough of. So
yeah, and again, just good at bat after good at bat in a game where again it was down to the cubicles. It was literally down to their last strike with Bellinger at the plate. And then Caballero in a 2-strike situation picks up a big hit as well. I do want to shout out a super chat from Golden Spation. Great win for getting off work. Mad geek right now. Golden, we're just as pumped as you are. What a freaking game. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the super chat. And to everyone in the chat right now, thank you so much for being here. Again, I mean, Chris, considering how the season is kind of gone, to have that kind of win punch you in, I think just elevates the moment. And again, comeback Caballero, man, this team, they were able to fight through, able to get a job done. But kind of rewinding a little bit in this ball game, Chris, we got a start from Luis Seal in which the results really strong. I know that 2 runs were hung on him in 6 innings. It's not a quote unquote fantastic start, but I really only think one of those runs should have been charged to him. Like there was a play that, quite honestly, that play should be made. I guess it happens. I understand, but needs to be made every single time. There was good command, only 2 walks in that outing. Again, very efficient after the first 3 innings, in the zone often, but not a lot of whiffs, only 3 whiffs on 37 swings. What did you take away from this start from Luis Seal, Chris? And how do you feel about him as we're going closer to the postseason, as the Yankees will go to the postseason?
I think I was bugged by the amount of like hard hit fly balls that I felt in real time. I'm pulling up the data on how hard those balls were actually hit, but it felt like there were a lot of balls lifted in the air and hit pretty hard. Obviously, like the Colson Montgomery one, the home run was, a no doubter immediately. But it did feel like there was a lot of balls in the air. It felt like there just wasn't a lot of ground balls. Maybe I'm so spoiled from what like Rodon and Max Fried had been giving us over the last little bit. But it was a good start. Should have been only 1 charged run, and kind of gave you the length that you would like. The velo's not there exactly again. I believe he was sitting 94 today. Otherwise, I don't have it in front of me. But
so velocity wise, you're asking for his average fastball velocity. I believe it was 94 miles per hour. It's just trying to check
so
right now.
That's what I thought. It felt like he was sitting 94. I prefer my Luis Seal to sit 96. But if you're sitting 94 and you're not really walking guys, okay, like I'll take it. And you're getting enough outs. And again, this is kind of something that like goes back to you. Like you can afford to give up hits every now and again if you're not giving free passes. He didn't really give that many free passes, so he could live in the zone more and more and more and just trust the White Sox to get themselves out. I do want to give a huge shout out to McMahon also. Like Ryan McMahon playing third base is such a joy. Like the one chance he got to make a sparkler, as Michael Kay would say, he absolutely made the sparkler. So I thought he was good, not great. I think his box score will look better than he actually pitched, if that is even fair to say.
Yeah.
I feel good that in his last 5 starts, we've only seen 1 really, really ugly one. If he doesn't start a playoff game, I'm going to be stressed and my chest is going to be clenched up, but it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, you can, again, kind of hope you take the coin, you flip it, and you get the right outcomes from Luis Seal. That's kind of where we're at right now. You hope he's just in zone enough to get the outs. I do want to shout out a couple of super chats here. One from J. Rob, who says, what an at-bat from Caballero. Let's go win a World Series. And J. Rob, I couldn't agree more. Let's go win a damn World Series. Yankees punch your ticket. Obviously, a job unfinished last year. They get to the World Series. They don't win it. And they still have some work ahead of them because while, yes, the Yankees will go to the postseason, very good chance that the Yankees are going to be able to fight for this division. I'd be stunned if the Blue Jays go 5-0 this week. That's what they have to do to not – because they have to go 4-1 to ice the Yankees out of the division.
Yeah.
They play Crochet tomorrow. They play the Rays for 3. They'll play the Red Sox again in between that Crochet and Rays series. There are 2 losses to be had somewhere there, Chris. And I've got a couple more super chats here that I'll quickly shout out. Are you worried about Heel? His strikeout numbers are insanely low compared to last year. Is he trying to be more careful? And then I'll shout out real quick. Supreme Chancellor Vivango. We got Ben Vargo here. Prayers to David Fry. Yeah, ugly incident in Cleveland. That was. I don't know if you. I think you saw the play. But
I watched it live. Yeah. I'm watching that inning, and that was bunt. And you had the weird Scooble snap, and then, it was called a strike too.
Mm-hmm. Foul. It was either foul ball or on the swing. I forget which. Whether it made contact.
Foul tip. You kind of just watch it hit him in the face, and honestly, like obviously pressure for David Fry, but I think Scooble hitting him in the face caused more unraveling for Scooble.
Yeah.
Like after that, so Scooble has 3. Do you want to guess how many wild pitches Scooble has all year?
I'm gonna guess 4.
He has 3. He had 2.
Wow.
And then the very first pitch after he hit him in the face was another wild pitch. And I believe in his career, he's got a total of 9 wild pitches and balks combined or something like that. Something ridiculously low. He then balked right after that, Ryan.
Wow.
So he unraveled. We talked about how mental of a game it is. So that was definitely a moment for Scooble and what is separately a really wild, comeback. But I do want to stick Yankees. I am a little bit worried about Luis Gil's strikeout numbers.
Yeah, go back to this question here.
I'm a little worried about his strikeout numbers.
Yeah, so I think right now with Luis Gil, where I'm at with him is that long term, I might be, I'm open to like next year reset. Let's see how it goes because he didn't have a spring training or at least a normal one. Like that's cool. We saw Rodon lose his whiffs in 2023 and even temporarily in 2024. We saw Nestor Cortez in 2023 lose his whiffs. 2024 got them back. So I'm willing to wait that out, but I think short term, I am worried about his inability to get whiffs because I think that's both a stuff issue and a command issue. When you take a step back in stuff and your command remains, firmly below average, that's going to result in a decrease in whiffs. And his whiff rate issues kind of stem to the second half of last year too. I think I'm just kind of stunned there hasn't been like a pitch change adjustment, but it's also tough to do that coming back from injury. Like, are you gonna ask a guy coming back from injury to like add a sinker, add a cutter, try a curve? Like, that's hard. It's difficult, guys. So, I think from the Yankees' perspective, you don't want to have him work on 50 things and come back from injury and get his mechanics right and this, and that in the third. Chris, what are your thoughts? Long-term, short-term, just in general with Luis Gil?
Well, I want to ask you, I mean, honestly, I defer to you on the show as like the pitching expert. Do you think he profiles more of a bullpen guy?
I think that the issue is I'm not sure if the command is he has to he has to throw so many pitches, so many ups and downs, and versus he doesn't really know where the ball is going thing. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I do think that as we kind of, and there is a question about this that is in Super Chat that I do think kind of fits into this because we it's actually about Luis Gil, the bullpen, and it's from Pennsylvania Transparency Project. With the return of Cole, the emergence of ERC and LaGrange being a beast all year, do you think Gil moving to the bullpen is a good idea? I do think this is kind of what I was going to get into, like the emergence of Cruz, who I think is got a more starters mix and better command than Gil.
He's got 6 pitches and he throws a ton of strikes.
Yeah, and then LaGrange and Gil as prospects. LaGrange is like souped up in the stuff with the same level of command. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to take, he doesn't know where the ball's going, I'll take that where it's going to top out at 102. Because I mean, it's a little bit dark, but like it's going to scare people.
Like, no, it's going to horrify people. It's like the thing, I've heard some people talk. I mean, pitching coaches talk about like sometimes they worry that Clase was too pounding the strike zone because there presents no fear when you throw 101. Mm-hmm. There needs to be some like presence of fear so guys can get comfortable in the box. I don't know, but I guess like maybe that's a question for down the road. I would like to see how this postseason goes. I do want to, I guess, give the bullpen flowers today.
Yeah.
Gil did his thing. We had the Luis Gil experience, and then the bullpen slammed the door.
Yeah, they did one hell of a job today. Mm-hmm. So Tim Hill comes in. He faces 3 batters, 2 third-inning innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and a ground ball. Luke Weaver, 1 in the 3rd innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. Completely forgot to mention Fernando Cruz here, which kind of a big inning for him to kind of have a clean inning. One inning pitched, 1 hit. Wasn't like oh man, that's like really ugly kind of situation. He just, did a job. And he actually didn't get any strikeouts today and still got outs. I kind of feel like that's a thing that you don't usually see with Fernando Cruz. When he can't get strikeouts, he's not going to be very effective. That's a good sign. Like he was, and I like the usage of the fastball. Like he's able to throw it for strikes and not feel like he's going to get absolutely crushed in zone. Again, Hill, this is kind of the big thing here. Boone has stayed away from Hill because you cannot trust Tim Hill anytime a righty's at the plate.
Bingo.
Now that's kind of changing a little bit. Not that he can get righties out consistently, but that, the one righty sandwich between 2 lefties, you're not too worried. And then for Weaver, another get right. Like, I thought he was going to give up the run in the 9th. He didn't. That's huge. Yankees, I don't know if they win that game if he gives up that run.
Bingo.
You're kind of seeing the guys who were like, ooh, not good, not great. And 2 guys who you relied upon a lot last year in Hill and Weaver getting right. Chris, what did you see from this bullpen as of late and today that's got you a little more excited or maybe even more optimistic going into the postseason?
I mean, it feels good. When I watch Luis Gil and I see him leave the game with the 6th inning, in my head, I'm like, we need to score 4 or 5 runs to win this ball game. And I don't know if your head goes there, but so I guess I get pleasantly surprised for every inning kind of they kept clean without pulling in our best reliever, who is Devin Williams, whether you like him or not. for them to be clean, for Cruz to give you a full inning, I think is a good thing in the feel-good column for him, because he's been very much like 2 outs and then I'm done, and a lot of traffic and a lot of drama and getting behind in counts. If he's able to throw that fastball early in counts for strikes, I think that sets up everything else, because Boone said it a couple times, Michael Kay said it a couple times. Against Cruz, we see some of the ugliest swings. It's encouraging for me, and I'm sure for him, for them to get it done without the strikeout. I thought Weaver was fantastic today, Ryan. I thought he was fantastic, getting ahead, throwing the changeup more, and I thought the fastball shape looked really good today, and he was also dotting it. I thought he did a really good job keeping hitters off balance. Today was the version of Weaver, it was the closest version of last year's playoff Weaver I've seen in probably about 2 months.
I want to put a quick note out here, because if you guys weren't here for one of the previous live streams where Chris talked about changeup usage and, hey, Luke Weaver's throwing the fastball a little bit too much. In his last 4 outings, he's thrown his changeup, I think, once or twice more than his 4-seam fastball. So roughly even usage of pitch. And he has not allowed a run. He has a strikeout rate over 30%. He's not allowed a barrel. Like, he is pitched better. And I think, again, with what Chris is talking about and what we've seen throughout the year from Weaver, I think he lost comfort in that changeup, or the command of that changeup, and you relied on the fastball too much. Splitters, changeups, and this applies for Cruz and Weaver, they're field pitches. Sometimes you just don't have it, and both these guys had stints on the injured list. So when you come back from the injured list, you lose feel of these pitches. And if you look at their changeups too, you know, Weaver's is very, it's a pitch he's always had. But it's a pitch that he altered the grip of with the Yankees. So it's not the changeup. It's not like he's thrown the same kind of changeup for, 10 years. It's a different changeup than the one he threw at the Reds, the one through the Diamondbacks, Cardinals, etc. All the teams he's been on before the Yankees, not the peak Weaver years. Again, I think seeing the changeup back in the mix is good for him. And again, with this bullpen, just really, really good signs. It's trending in the right direction. And for a bullpen that has good underlying metrics, that is in the top 10 of those, like expected ERA, expected FIP, Sierra kind of stats, where it's like, oh, those are like the nerdy ERA estimators that not everyone likes. I understand why. That's a good sign, because you feel like at any point it could just click. And we know that there are some guys with inflated ERAs. Cruz is a 3.66 ERA. He's not a 3.66 ERA pitcher. He's better than that. He's impacted games more than that number would have reflect. Devin Williams is another example of, like, ERA is 5. He's not a 5 ERA pitcher. Even at his worst, he never deserved having a 5 ERA. So those are the encouraging signs. Chris, with the Yankees playing the way they have, they've pulled within 1 game of the Toronto Blue Jays. The bullpen's getting a little bit better. The rotation has consistently delivered. While the offense has had some days where it's sputtered, they've come through in the right moments. We saw it on Sunday. We saw it again today. 5 games left. You're playing the White Sox 2 more times and the Orioles 3 times. Blue Jays have 2 against the Red Sox, 1 being a crochet game, 3 against the Rays. How do you feel about the Yankees potentially winning the American League East?
I feel really good. I feel like it's in the air. Generally, so the first episode we did together, Ryan, it was me, you, and Sam. And one of the mailbag questions is, what do you want to see from this team? Or what's the one thing that could put this team over the top? And I said, the bullpen pitching up to the level that I think that we know they can. This bullpen in particular, and here we go, in a heel game, Ryan, when he exits the game after 6 innings, how many runs do you think we needed to score to win? Like, in that moment, how many do you think we need to score? Do you go 4? Do you go 5? Because my head goes 5 immediately.
Yeah. Anytime so number 1, Luis heel game, 2, 3 innings in the bullpen. I'm saying 4 or 5 comfortably.
Yeah.
To be comfortable.
So them doing that and me not being super shocked, but being more pleasantly surprised, because I know they're all capable of doing that. I feel like if this bullpen is heating up the way I think they will, because I think they've been very good since the Boston series, I think we might lose 1 more game rest of the year. And if they lose 1 more game rest of the year, I think we catch Toronto. I think Toronto's got to be feeling the pressure. They got to be feeling the heat right now, right, Ryan?
Yeah. And I think, again, you kind of see how they've played as of late. They're a good team. I don't want to sit here and pretend like I said this. I try to be rational with, like, how I talk about other teams. I don't think the Blue Jays are a better team than the New York Yankees, but I think they're a good team. And I don't think the gap between the Yankees and Blue Jays, in my mind, is great enough to say there's no conceivable world where the Blue Jays win the division, and or there's no conceivable world where the Blue Jays beat the Yankees in a playoff series. It's just, I think the Yankees are just a better offense and have a better rotation. I think those two things give them the overall edge. With 5 games left in the easier strength of schedule, the Yankees do have to finish ahead of the Blue Jays by 1 game. So they have to outplay them by 2 games. Can the Blue Jays go 2-3 and can the Yankees go 4-1? I think both are realistic because even if they take the series against the Rays, the Red Sox have Crochet and Bayo going. And for the Blue Jays, Gausman has been their best pitcher this year. He's their top guy. He's the guy who, when he's on the mound, the Blue Jays should win that baseball game. So that is kind of where this Red Sox series becomes interesting. And it's funny too, because I was saying this in the group chat I'm in, and I was like, I don't know who I want to root for in this game because I don't know if the Yankees are going to win or lose this game. When the Yankees were down 2-1, I was like, come on, Blue Jays, let's go. Let's get something going. I don't want to fall in the standings at all. But when they lost, it happened maybe a minute after the Yankees won the game. How the Yankees play determines what outcome is best for them. As long as the Yankees win baseball games, as long as they win baseball games, you need to root for the Red Sox to win. Mm-hmm. If the Yankees do not win today or tomorrow, tomorrow and the day after, you need to hope that the Blue Jays win those games. Because even if you lose the chance to win the AL East, you don't want to fall behind Boston. But today was a perfect outcome for the Yankees because they remain 3 games ahead of Boston, and they're now 1 back of the Blue Jays. And, not that this matters. Not that this matters. But for the Tigers and Guardians continuing to kind of beat each other up, it lowers the win total of the AL Central winner and the
Bingo.
Wild Card 3 winner.
Bingo.
If I kind of hope that doesn't end up being a sweep, I kind of need the Tigers to steal one of these games because if it's a sweep, then things kind of get a little bit dangerous, although that could still help the Yankees because it pushes a team further down the wild card. But again, do I think the Guardians finish with more wins than the Yankees? They're 4 games back of us. I just doubt it. So maybe I do want the Guardians to sweep the Tigers.
No, you should want a Guardians sweep. I'm just going to say.
I guess, yeah. I didn't really think that out until I talked about it.
They're 4 games back. You want a Guardians sweep.
I thought they were closer. I thought in my head it's because the Tigers are so good. I'm like, they're like 2 back from us, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that's why the wild stat is that that the Yankees had the 2nd best record in the AL. And it's like, you wouldn't think that because they're in 2nd place in their division. And we were force-fed for forever how good the Tigers are. Just a real quick note on Toronto. They've lost 5 of their last 6, Ryan, and they're going to be down a bat tomorrow against Crochet because it hasn't been talked about. Bo Bichette's out right now.
Yeah. And Ty France is out, and he's a right-handed hitter who you'd like to have potentially against Crochet. Which also hurts.
They're facing Garrett Crochet. Jimenez is short, big dog.
Yeah.
They're down a bat.
Against righties, you want to have Bo Bichette. Against lefties, you want to have Bo Bichette.
Correct.
And with Garrett Crochet on the bump, and for the Blue Jays, do you know who's going for them? It's Max Scherzer.
Oh, Mad Max. End of the year, Mad Max. He's an old man.
And he hasn't had it hasn't been a good year, and it's gone in the wrong direction as of late. 5.06 ERA, 5.08 FIP, 4.69 expected FIP. Like decent strikeout numbers, but not a lot of whiffs. It's a lot like called strikes, good command, not really overpowering stuff. Like this is a guy who maybe should consider retirement at the end of the year. And I say that with all due respect, legend, Hall of Famer in the all that stuff. World Series champion, like no disrespect to the guy, but he's not. The Red Sox should hit this guy. So if not that you're going to scratch tomorrow off as a win for the Red Sox, you have to play the games. But if the Yankees can handle business tomorrow with Max Fried on the mound against the White Sox, and the Red Sox beat up on Max Scherzer, and Garrett Crochet does what he does, now it's, all right, 4 games left to go. You just got to win one more game than they do.
Bingo.
So today sets the stage for tomorrow. Every time you win, tomorrow becomes a bigger day. Because if you let's say you lost today and won tomorrow, like you'd be in the postseason, but the division's kind of over. Like you're not going to win the AL East at that point in time. Every time you win, it just gives it more life. So it puts more pressure on you to win. And even if the Yankees don't win the AL East, I'm going to sit here and say there are good signs. There are good signs for a team that's kind of getting back in the mix, getting back in the fold. And with that being said, Chris, any final thoughts on the division before we move on to talk about Game 2?
I just want to say that Max Scherzer is older than Matt Blake, Corey Kluber, and Buster Posey.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Matt Blake?
Yeah.
Wow.
That
I forget how young Matt Blake is.
Max Scherzer is, I think he's got like 4 years on him. Max Scherzer is older than, again, Matt Blake, Buster Posey, and Corey Kluber.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All those guys are working for MLB teams. So I'm just saying, like wow. Max Scherzer's got to get hit around tomorrow, dude. Like, what?
Yeah, again, if you are the Red Sox and you can, again, if you're a Yankee fan, you need to root for the Red Sox tomorrow because your chance at, like, the Blue Jays are not, like, in terms of win probability or games, entering a game and how they'll be favored in each game, I think the Blue Jays will be favored to win 4 of their last 5 games because I think they'll be favored to win the Bieber-Bayo game because it's at home Toronto. Like, I think they'll be favored, and they'll be favored in every game against the Rays. They are not favored tomorrow. They're not going to be favored tomorrow. So that's the one game they're expected to lose. So if they do not lose that game, their winning, like the projected winning percentage goes up. That's very nerdy. I know I'm like kind of geeking out right now.
Hey, do it, dude.
But like that's the math behind it.
Get the Stogies out, Ryan. We're going to the dance. Be a nerd. Who cares?
Hey, they got the Selly Spliffy. Go Yanks go. Steve Stacks. Steve Spliffs. Mm-hmm. Steve's got it going. But seriously, like this is, I don't want to sit here and pretend like making the playoffs is the ultimate accomplishment, but it still is an accomplishment. And there is something to be proud about a team that lost Garrett Cole, that in the offseason lost Juan Soto and found a way to go to the postseason. And they're going to probably win 90 games.
Like lost Clark Schmidt too. Like,
yeah.
Like almost lost our captain in the middle of the year. Like this felt like this season was in jeopardy. Like this was a roller coaster of an adventure to get to the playoffs. I believe in celebrating every single achievement you get to as an MLB team because of how much you have to play. And then also when you look across town, I mean, we're literally watching the Mets go through it right now in terms of making the postseason.
Yeah, and with the Reds loss today, the Mets are about to win, I believe. I think if that score's about to go final. I saw
it literally just went final as you said that.
Just goes final. Yes, so Reds are currently 1 back. Mets currently in a playoff spot. Point is, like, these teams are going to have to burn their aces going down the stretch. Mm-hmm. Yankees, even if the division hopes survive through Sunday, the Yankees are not going to burn Max Fried and Carlos Rodon for a postseason game. Mm-hmm. The Blue Jays may have to. I think the Blue Jays intended on not having to do that. The Tigers certainly at the start of September intended on Tariq Skubal not having to pitch in big games down the stretch. They intended on makes today's start, doesn't make his next start. Now he has to make his next start. Yeah, has to. And they're gonna play a wild card series. It doesn't matter who wins that division. They're playing a wild card series in all likelihood.
Bingo.
All likelihood. It just the pressure's on. The pressure's on everybody. But for the Yankees, they can at least take the deep breath of we're in the postseason.
At least we're in.
Right, you're in. Whether it's as a wild card team, whether it's as a division winner, you're in. You're playing with a little bit of house money right now, it feels like.
Bingo.
That's the positive. The pressure's on the Blue Jays. That's who it's on.
Now, do you want to call it again? I've asked you once before. You said yes. Do you think we're in? Do you think we're going to finish in first place?
I think as things stand right now, I would predict the Yankees finishing in first place. And the reason I say that is because, again, the Yankees have Fried and Rodon still left to pitch over their final 5 games. They have their whole turn through the rotation. So it'll be Fried, Rodon, Warren, Schlittler, Hill.
Yes.
You should win, in theory. I'll say you drop one of the Warren Hill games, you should win 4 of those. You should win 4 of those. And if the Blue Jays do anything worse than win 3 of their games, which is not impossible, you win the division. And it's totally possible the Yankees just win 5 straight. It depends. Like, the other thing, too, is I hope, like, the only scenario in which I see it go wrong is bullpen has a week-long implosion. Offense is starting to go into a slump, and it's not like they're just having a couple down days thing. They're facing 2 really good starters in the Orioles series. I'm not sure both will get the ball. I'm just like not 100%. Like, how sure are we that they're going to give the ball to Rogers, who missed a good chunk of time, and his reach is past his innings limit of not innings limit, but his innings count in the last few years. And Bradish, who's coming back from UCL reconstruction surgery. Just saying, I don't know how far they're going to push those 2 guys.
I don't think they'll push them that far just to play spoiler. Like, I'm seeing what the Marlins are doing down there, and they push back Sandy to go against the Mets. I don't think the Orioles are kind of thinking that way because health next year, I think, is the most important thing for them because they do have such a young core.
Well, I was also going to say, like, for the Marlins, for Sandy Alcantara, like, they're trying to build up that value to trade him probably.
Yeah, you're right.
Him pitching well is going to help them. I don't think the Orioles are trying to trade Rodgers or Bradish. They know what they have, and they shouldn't, by the way, because that team can be dangerous if they come back healthy next year with those two guys at the top of the rotation, with another starter in the mix. Like, that is not a team that's completely dead and their window's closed forever. That's a different conversation, though. I think that if you look at tomorrow, it's Max Fried versus, I believe it's still a TBA. Like, I don't think have the White Sox announced their starter for tomorrow.
Not that I've seen, but I can pull it up. Sir.
TBA still.
Yeah. Okay. So, Fried TBA, and then Martin Rogers.
Fried is obviously an ace caliber starter. You expect to win that game. Fried is on the mound. You expect to win that game. And if the White Sox have to utilize their bullpen, which they did have to use it a good bit tonight, they went through multiple. I think they used 4 or 5 guys out of their bullpen. I could be wrong.
They might have used 6, dog.
And they used their 2 best guys in Leisure and Taylor. Like, they used a lot of their good guys today. They used these 5.
Yeah, because he's 6 total. Yeah, because Michael K said something about it at the end. Like, this will be the 5th because they had to pull after the wild pitch to throw in one more.
Yeah, so again, like, it's not to say, like, again, the White Sox are a baseball team and baseball's a random sport, so inherently any advantage you can get is important.
Correct.
So, Chris, that's why I'm like I'm on top of like all these little things of like, okay, you should have the bullpen advantage. You didn't use Bednar. You didn't use Williams. Cruz and Weaver could still go tomorrow. Probably not Weaver because he had 24 pitches, but you have your 2 best guys. You have your ace going tomorrow. I think you can still situationally use Camilo Doval. I think you can still situationally use Mark Leiter Jr.
I like Doval. I would not mind seeing him out there. He's
for sure.
But I would like to give him run tomorrow because obviously like you said, you can't use Weaver tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean they could, but after 24 pitches, like you hope you don't have to. Like you really I don't want to have to play another like, I guess, like gut-wrenching, close, tight game. I don't want that. I don't. I also like the games 24 hours after and not like less than that because, the hungover Yankees.
I was going to say Moon missed. Not any hungover sluggers. Remember last year, the hangover game?
Dude, Jazz hit a home run in that game after like not hitting a home run in like 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm taking hungover Jazz to hit a home run tomorrow.
And also Jason Dominguez just let a fly ball drop right to him in the hangover game. Also, speaking of Jazz, 3 hits today, man.
Yeah, so I was really impressed with his at-bats today. I think he's getting hot at the right time, getting comfortable again. The at-bat against lefties look good. Like, it's not even just a lefty-righty thing anymore. It's like, hey, the at-bats against lefties progressively throughout the season have gotten better. Rice looked good. I know he got thrown out at second. That's not great, but it was a really good play from the right fielder.
He hit the ball too hard.
Yeah, and Jazz also hit the ball too hard to, like, let Caballero even have a chance to score. Like, that ball, he had no chance of scoring there because of how hard he hit it.
And last year, Jazz was horrible in the postseason. I know that it doesn't get talked about at all, but like the odds that like Jazz, Judge, and Wells are all horrible this postseason, I feel like we're not going to see a repeat. Like Jazz was so bad last year that I felt, and so was Wells, that I felt Aaron at times expanding the strike zone to try to do damage, unless Giancarlo was behind him. So Jazz getting hot right now feels perfect. And again, with his legs too, we can see it. I mean,
yeah. And I also say this, like the Yankees, they didn't score a lot today, but they also had 11 hits and 7 walks. They put on base runners. Like the Yankees, did they hit a home run today? I don't think we did.
No home run today. There was traffic though, but no home run today.
I would be stunned if the Yankees go 2 full games against the White Sox without hitting a home run. So if they can have traffic on, take one swing, you have 4 runs on the board, you should win that game. Like if you score 4 tomorrow, you need to win that game like 9 out of 10 times. I'd even say 10 out of 10 times. So again, looking at tomorrow, TBA for the White Sox starter. There is on Fangraphs, they have like guys who like are slated to go. There's no one slated because they have a 4-man rotation. Martin is going to be the next guy up in terms of rest. Gomez and Burke are ineligible to go based on their rest. I wonder if they call someone up. Maybe they do a bullpen game, whatever it may be. I think if it's a lefty, I want to see both Volpe and Caballero. I think I want to keep seeing Volpe against lefties. He had a really important at-bat in the 9th inning. I liked his at-bats in those scenarios. Caballero, obviously, with the big at-bat, albeit not against the lefty, but he's good against lefties. And keep feeding me those 2 guys against lefties. And if it's against a righty, you're normal. Your typical package. State at DH, left to right, Bellinger, Grisham, Judge. Maybe we see Jason tomorrow. Like, I know the Yankees have kind of upped his usage a little bit, but we'll see. Depends on the situation. I think, again, like, this offense is so deep that you can have guys that maybe shouldn't be on the bench, and you don't really care. Like, when Stan sits, I don't care anymore. I don't
mean, we have so many sluggers, bro. It doesn't really bug me.
Right. When, like, Grisham gets a day, like, before, if a 125 OPS plus hitter sat on the Yankees in 2024, you felt like you weren't winning that game.
Yeah.
And for context, guys, the people who fit that category or better, Judge, Soto, and Chisholm last year. That's it. No one else achieved the 125 or higher. You want to look at the 2023 Yankees? I don't think you want to. 2022 Yankees, a lot of those guys got hurt by the postseason. Benintendi, LeMahieu, Carpenter was I know he was active, but I'm sorry, he wasn't himself. That kind of stuff. Stain got hurt mid-year. This is a really deep Yankee offense. Again, as long as the bullpen and the rotation's doing enough, they should win games. Chris, any final thoughts as we wrap up this show here? Yankees winners of the first game of this set. They won 3-2 in walk-off fashion to go into the postseason. Chris, what you got for me?
Every time we've done a live after the show, after the game, it's been a win.
I thought they were going to break the streak today.
Me too, man. I refrained from texting you the entire game. Me and Ryan did not text at all. So we're still doing it. I believe this is number 5 or 6 for us.
I think so. We streamed after Red Sox 1, 2, didn't do it after 3. Twins 2, 3, and then 3 of one of the Twins. We only did the final game of the series.
Yeah.
I think this is 6 then.
Bingo.
Or 7.
6 or 7. Sorry.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
You did it. You did
it, dude. I had to. Like that, when I do this face, I'm trying to hold something in, man. I really am.
We don't have to hold it in with me. You give me your final thoughts and we can get out of here, big dog.
So final thoughts. Again, Yankees, really impressive late game win. I want to shout out the AAA Scranton Rail Riders. They took a 5-4 victory over the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. They did so in extra innings. They scored a run in the 10th, and then they held off the ghost runner in the bottom of the 10th. So they will play with a chance to go to the championship round and play for a AAA title. So
can you give me the Spencer Jones line, please?
Jones went 0-for-3 with a walk, 3 strikeouts. Not a great Jones day for him. Star of kind of today's game. I mean, it was kind of a
no. The star was my guy, right? TJ.
Yeah, TJ Rumfield. He did hit a 3-run home run. So it was a big one too. It gave them the go ahead. It gave them the lead, I believe. They were down 2-0, and that 3-run home run. Heimer Candelario, Tio Candy goes back to back with Rumfield. So good win for them. I mean, I hope the Yankees have had a lot of like teams get there over the last 2 or 3 years. Hudson Valley got to the championship round in 23-24, lost both times. Somerset championship round 24, lost. I think the Complex League Yankees got there in like 24 and lost, and 23 as well. 2022 was the last Yankee minor league championship winner in Somerset AA. They won it that year. Yeah. So hopefully Scranton can get to the championship round and kind of break the Yankee streak of, and I guess at the major league level, they lost the World Series. The Yankees had 3 affiliates losing the championship round last year. Big league, AA, high A. Someone's got to break the streak.
Someone
secretly hope it's the big league club, but someone's got to do it. So
dude, we're gonna just so you know, Ryan, we're gonna trade TJ Rumfield for like a Daniel Schneemann in a year. Just so you know. So get ready.
I hope like TJ Rumfield has that Caleb Durbin arc of like he's just one of the he needs to go on a team with scrappy players. He cannot go to like the Dodgers. He has to go to
that's why I said the Guardians. Dog. Like it makes sense. Schneemann for Rumfield straight up, and we get. I mean,
maybe the Brewers too. Like the Brewers are like. I mean, obviously Durbin's there, but like he needs to go there. He needs to go to like a team that their identity is like the Marlins. You know, it can't be. It just the vibes wouldn't fit. TJ Rumfield is the perfect first baseman. Like a small ball. We play good defense, and you hate playing us when we're a hot team.
Bingo. And then another note: Rafael Flores is hitting 375 with an OPS over 1,000 so far.
Good for him, man.
Yeah,
he was
really
named
like 8 at bats.
No, I mean I'm really happy for him. Undrafted free agent, really good. Like I had some people text me like after the deadline saying like they would have ranked him in their top 100. So people thought highly of him, and just Eastern League All-Star at the catcher position as well. Even though he didn't spend a good chunk of time there, he spent I think half his year there. So yeah. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We got a lot of viewers in today, so we really appreciate all the super chats, all the comments, everything, all of that and more. We'll be back either tomorrow night or Wednesday night. That's up in the air. We'll let you guys know, but we will be back again in this series. We again appreciate you all tuning in. Our social media accounts, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our YouTube page are in the description below. We'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Yankees, and have a great rest of your night. Peace out.